what? First off, welcome. Welcome. You can give yourselves a little clap if you want to. You want to give a clap? Give you a little clap. All right. Now that we got that out the way, what do you call money? Give me some names for money.
Moolah, dinero.
Okay. We went straight to slang.
Skrilla.
Skrilla, moolah, dinero.
Oh, yeah, we don't guap.
Guap. Okay.
Racks.
Give me some professional terms for money.
Currency.
And that's the one I was looking for. Currency. Now, have you ever processed the word and why we use currency? You know, think about that for a second. As of this recording, name me a major event that's going to happen as of this recording.
Christmas.
Christmas. In a few days, 2 to be exact, right? Christmas will appear.
Yes.
That is, what's everything in this world?
Energy.
Energy. What is another word for energy? You just said it.
Currency.
Currency.
Current.
Current.
Root Latin word.
Yes, all that good stuff. Okay. Current, energy, same thing. Yes?
Yes.
Now, do yourself a favor and attempt to follow this very easy conversation that's been in front of your eyes the whole time, and that you don't know it, but people like me are leveraging your ignorance for our benefit. Okay? Frequency modulation is someone taking a currency in the air and modulating that to a certain frequency, and someone monetized that. FM radio is frequency modulation radio. Currency, energy, same thing. Follow me so far? Currency, energy, same thing. Yes? On Christmas, that's a lot of energy, isn't it?
Yes.
That's a lot of energy towards a lot of few places. And I did that paradoxically on purpose. A lot of few places. Give me some places that will cash out.
Restaurants.
Restaurants. I would not have brought that up. Restaurants are going to, you don't have to do that over here. Gas stations,
World.
Walmarts, gas stations,
Dollar Tree.
all the dollar stuff,
Any grocery store. Yeah.
any food store,
Chevron.
any gas store, Chevron, Amazon, anything retail, anything retail, but you say eBay's e-commerce, yes? E-commerce, what else?
You said anything retail. I was going to say
Gift
Best
card.
Buy.
Let's put it in the Reggie's world.
Oh.
NBA. He said narcotic. No. Let's talk about your other world. The National Basketball Association.
Yeah.
What do they do better than the NFL?
Got all the good games going on, and I can't wait.
The NFL, that's where NFL drops the ball because it's tradition in NFL just be the same teams. Detroit, Dallas, there's one more.
Chicago.
Washington.
I think it is Washington.
Cowboys, always Cowboys and
All right, yeah, you know, it's always, but
Chicago and Green Bay.
the NBA leaves that open. The NBA leaves that open
the best.
and always,
The best.
here's the best, here's the most controversial, here's what's going on. Boom, right? You get it? Here's the best, here's what's most going on. Do you understand what I'm saying? The NBA is riding the currency of December 25th and will cash in. And all those subordinate companies, food, Pepsi, Coke, parking lot,
Liquor stores.
liquor stores will cash in because you know it's going to be closed on Christmas. It's the close, but what do?
You
Let's
let's
hurry up and go.
Yeah, Harry.
Because people probably not shop on Amazon. They will when they get their gift card. But leading to Christmas, you're going to get all these here. What all of this proves is that few people, remember a few companies, are going to harness currency. You understand? They're going to harness currency. Do you get me? Mm-hmm. What is currency? Man, it's attention. And this attention, something will be drawing it like a current, like a moth to a flame. This is very important you get this because your question is very good. Everyone follow. If the Golden State Warriors go to the NBA championship, where is Golden State? California. Specifically, do we know what part? North San Francisco area, Bay Area-ish. Okay? What part, and let's say that the Golden State Warriors have home court advantage. That's at least 4 games. And let's say it goes to game 7. Is it safe to say that the currency that would be attracted to 4 games in that area, everything in Golden State area will benefit? Mm-hmm. I'll make that more simple for you. I'm broke, and for whatever reason, the NBA decides we're going to do the playoffs playoffs typically happen around February 8-ish. The not playoffs, the All-Star game. I'm saying one thing and thinking another. In Galveston, Texas. Anything ATS touches, that's where we going. Or we're not going to do that. We're going to do it in Galveston, Texas. And it's nothing ATS. But Antonio says, I want some of that money. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to find me a piece of grass that y'all don't care about. Give me a sign. Parking. $25. Mm-hmm. As of today, December 23rd, that piece of grass makes no money. There's no reason. There's no currency. Well, now you're starting to get it. There's no energy in that direction. But 60 days from now, February 6th-ish, the currency's different now. It's charged up. And y'all need parking. And Reggie can't have his lady in 6-inch heels walking 2 miles to the game. He got to get as close as possible. Do you understand? The currency says, I just need to catch this energy and harness it. And in my case, $25. Do you understand? Yeah. And I could fit 100 cars. Math, please. Oh, you can do that in your head.
$2,500.
Anybody have a problem with $2,500 in a night? Because the currency was there. Is now the definite, concise answer to your question. Energy, money, is just currency. And you must, all those examples, that's why I wrote currency on the board, Amazon, all that stuff, have a relationship, right, with the currency. People not making money also in a relationship with the currency, and that relationship is called poor. This relationship would be opportunistic. This relationship would be complaining. Ooh, there's a lot of people here. I wish they didn't have I wish it wouldn't here in this area. I wish it wouldn't like such and such. Those people don't get. These people do. What's the most important thing here besides the word currency? What is everything pointing? Actually, besides currency, there's something here that is the most important thing, and it's more important than currency. Every relationship. The most important thing here was relationship. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. because the currency is always out there. Right now, there is a lot of currency in oil. Got me? A lot of currency in oil. You feel me? Is that okay? Y'all got that oil money? Because you don't have a relationship with that. Do you understand? You have no relationship with it whatsoever. Do you get me? No relationship whatsoever. Now, if you had a good relationship with it, you'd have the money. When you mistreat your parents, that's a relationship. So money will mistreat you. When you mistreat your friends, that's a relationship. It's just currency. And you can't be in good currency with money and not be in good currency with those around you. How you do anything is how you do everything. Got me? That's the answer to your question. It's all currency. You can't be a negative person and have a good lifestyle and wealth. It's all currency. Currency is all that matters. You can't not care about this conversation, not care about the people who are important in your life, and then say, but please pay my rent. It doesn't work that way. Now, I want all of you to think about your individual problems. No matter where you are on wealth, you have individual problems that you would like to obtain or conquer, I should say, or overcome. Think about that, because we're talking about one thing today. Thank you for your question. And keep questions coming. We're talking about their story in your law of attraction. Their story in your law of attraction. Is this clear? Mm-hmm. Their story in your law of attraction. What is automatically the problem? Yes.
Okay. So we have to apply our law of attraction to their story.
No,
What?
but you're in the right place.
Okay.
You shouldn't have to do none of that.
Oh, okay.
But I'm telling you, you can't properly apply the law of attraction because their story is in it.
Is this?
Am I doing it?
We all do it. We all do this.
I'm talking about when I go to SPC.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because that's a whole nother. I go off into mine.
So let me show you then, because you're both of you, you're both right. You're leading me in the right place. Here's what I had to do. Before I tell you what I had to do, I have to give you two things that will help you out in some background information. I have to. I have no choice. I have no choice, so you just want to understand it. Everything in this world is a particle. That's it. That's the nucleus, okay? Everything in this world is a particle. There's nothing else. The currency, energy, my vibration, this board, it all started off with a particle. That's it. Are we following the same? We tracking the same information? There is nothing else in this world but this. Please know your entire world is this. Good, bad, behind rent, rent on time, have a mortgage late, foreclosure, jail. It's all this. It can't exist any other way. The only thing in this world is energy. And then the conscious observer is what that's called. You look at this or mentally look at it, or you observe your reality and you term this infinite wave of possibilities. This isn't psychology. This is actually quantum physics. This particle exists like this at all times. It's a waveform is what it's called. There's a nerdier word for that, superposition. It means that this one particle could be superpositioned everywhere at the same time. One particle, it's not 3,000 particles, it's one. But until you consciously observe where you want it to go, then it won't go anywhere because the universe has it everywhere at the same time. I'll explain that one more time. This particle can't do anything, so it does everything. It hasn't, you haven't told it to do anything, so it's doing all the possibilities at once. When we walk out this room, every desk, all the office furniture, the couch, it will all be all across this room at the same time. And you go, but no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It does not at all, because this table will always be here. That's not true. First off, this table is 90% empty. Secondly, when you leave this room, the table is not here. It is only here because your conscious mind says it. But since you remember where it is, you walk in here with the expectancy of it being right here. One more time. I said I was going to do it one more time. I'm going to keep doing it. Everything in this world exists here or here, and here and here, or only here or only here. Just depends on where we're talking in the conversation. It's always here and here, but it's always here too, and it's always here as well. It's confusing as it sounds. It is not confusing. I'm saying it's right now. Remember, you're supposed to be thinking about your money situation that you want to solve. Every possibility is already out there. And also, you've already chosen where you want it to be. That's the hard part. That part hurts. What you have, you chose. Okay? You already chose it to be here, but it was already all the possibilities plus what you were already going to choose, because you're accustomed to choosing their story for your reality. I'm starting to make some sense here. Yeah. You are accustomed. The reason why I say it's both here and here is because they told you where to be, where to make, what to make, where to look, what to look, all that stuff. You've already bought into it. This is why you have triggers. If I do something, you behave a certain way automatically, because you haven't given yourself an option. You gave yourself their option. Everything in this world is an infinite wave. However, as soon as the conscious observer, for whatever reason, you take all this prosperity and you collapse it to whatever level of awareness that you're on. Or do you understand what I'm saying? Let's make this make more sense. This is one. I had to tell you two things, right? I had to tell you two things. Assuming this entire board was your life of awarenesses, and just imagine all these lines here, okay? Just imagine line after line after line is levels of awareness, with this being the greatest, this being I don't want to say $100 billion. That's my reality. That's my collapsing of $100 billion. That's me. Someone else can have my full happiness at $34,000. And it is their $100 billion. Because their particle, for them, this is all I wanted, was a fully loaded Honda Civic. I'm good. Okay? I just want how many of you would literally how many of you, and it's okay if it's okay if this resonates with you. Man, I just want all my bills paid without no problems, my kids taken care of, my family taken care of if you don't have kids, and I don't want to have to ask nobody for nothing.
That's part of it.
That's part of it. Okay, that's good. See, for me, that is too little.
Yeah, it's too little for me too.
But you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you raise your hand. There's nothing wrong with that, because success is individualized. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I don't want none of that. I want to buy islands. You understand what I'm saying? But anywho, this is awareness. Now here's the way it works. There's an infinite possibility of stuff, and then most times you're going to collapse what you want somewhere here, or wherever level of awareness that you're on. Inside of this very same thing, it is important to note that you have intellect and awareness, and they are not the same thing. You can have a high level of intellect and a low level of awareness, which is what most people are suffering from today in the information age. Intellect is what you know, awareness is what you are. Now, I could break those down differently, but I'm going to use those two definitions. What you know, what you are. In life, you only get what you are. You don't get what you know. But all I know is this. You're using the word know, but you're so emotional about that. What you're really saying is, all I know is this. Get it? You're not saying awareness because it sounds funny. All I awareness is this. It's not a sentence that you would actually say. But when you're that emotional about something, you're saying awareness. All I know is how to struggle is what you're saying. I don't know anything else but to struggle. Everybody follow me? Mm-hmm. All right. Now, you've heard me say this before, but this is their story in your law of attraction. Me, the first thing I did for money is I had to release what my parents taught me about money. Okay? The second thing I had to do, in fact, I'm going to do that differently. My parents, and this is most people's cases, taught me about money, had to let that go. The second thing I had to do was release what my neighborhood even though I spelled it right, that's a terrible G, but we're going to make it work. What my neighborhood taught me about money, had to release that. The third thing I had to do was release what my culture taught me about money. The fourth thing is I had to release what my church taught me about money. The fifth thing I had to do was release what America taught me about money. And without even knowing it, I used to just end here. Then I had to release, lastly, is what I'm trying to be kind. What my responsibility is, what I'll say. This was a sneaky problem. Taught me, it's responsibility. Taught me about money. This snuck up on me. I had no idea. I used to just, up until 2 years ago, I taught it just this way. This is probably the first time I said this out loud. I'll break each of them down. Please know, all 6 of these levels is their story. It's got nothing to do with me. None of this has anything to do with me. And guess what? When I was 2, I didn't understand none of this. And when I was 5, you gave me $20. I thought you made me a drug lord or something. I just, I thought I was Al Capone, American gangster. Said $20. You know what you gave me. You gave me the world, you peasants. Looking at my friend. You don't have $20 because $20 was a lot of money to a 5-year-old kid with no bills. It's amazing to think the same bills you pay now, same bills your mama and them said, that's why you had no money. You thought they was lying. Now you grown. Now you know they was spitting facts. I'll break each of them down. This one's pretty easy. My parents taught me money. It just is what it is. They didn't try to. We can't afford that. You learn from home first. They're your first teachers. That's their job. They're supposed to be your first teachers. When we get into this store, now I'm talking I'm kind of down here now with my culture, but when we get into this store, all right, come on, help me out. Say it. When you grit your teeth together.
Won't you ask for nothing?
All right, you understand? And you speak it through your teeth, because we can't afford it. Who you think I am? Rockefeller? Money don't grow on trees, which it does. You get it? All that stuff. Cross that out. Is that fair? They taught me money. Now, I get it. I'm up here talking. I got the show. I want you to think about your situation. Right now. I want you to purposely think about the situation we're in, the situation you're in, the situation they in, whatever, right? Think about that. And I want you to consciously ask you how much of this debt, how much of your situation you can't figure out because you haven't released level 1. I'm not telling you this is your level 1. I'm just telling you, and I ordered these. In this order is what happened for me, and I didn't do them all at once. Remember those lines I drew? I hit someone, I was like, man, I was just doing good. I don't understand how I got back here. Come on now, this is real talk, right? She's having a reaction. Man, I had a great year last year. Now I'm here because I done moved up and bam, I hit a ceiling in awareness. And now all that intellect I have is an increase in my income. Because I wasn't getting what I read in a book. I wasn't getting what I knew. I was getting what I was. And at this level, I was my parents' thoughts. How many of you can relate to that? Some of you. Now, I released that quite early. I didn't have much of a choice. Some of y'all, you 40 and still are your parents' thoughts. I am not afraid to talk to my parents about anything. That is not a testimony I can pass the microphone around and say. I will tell you this. Whoever you are afraid to criticize, that's who controls your life. You should receive that. If you can't criticize your pastor, your religious teacher, that's who controls your life. You can't criticize your mom, your dad, that's who controls your life. It's the truth. You don't have to like it. But if you're trying to figure out, well, what am I holding on to? Whatever is you can't criticize. Had to let that go. Is that fair? Ask yourself, have you just released your parents' thoughts? And let's go get $2,000 in the next 30 minutes. How about that? Let's just do that. You who are watching online, let's just do that. Let's just make this. Think about your personal problem, your personal solution that you want to accomplish. And I want you all to go get $2,000 in the next 30 minutes. You know what? Let's make that. Let's go $20,000 in the next 30 minutes. It's possible. It's an infinite possibility. But when I went from 2 to 20, how many of y'all immediately bowed out? All right.
I was trying to stop myself.
You was trying to stop yourself, but that bowing out still happened.
Yeah.
It's not that you don't think you get 20,000, but in 30 minutes, bro? Come on, 30? That's half an hour. And then Grace, she's smart. She went, that's $40,000 an hour is what you're telling me to get. It is. If you get 20 and 30 minutes, how much is that an hour I'm telling you get? $40,000 an hour. Now, if this same $40,000 an hour intimidated some of you, right? How much of that is because of your parents? I'm not telling you it is. I'm telling you, my parents had a stronghold on me on that. Why? Because I grew up in the hood. In order for me, this is what I grew up knowing. If I was ever going to have security, first off, that was what was important in my family. Security, not freedom, security. Okay, no, you can ask a question anytime. Let me just say this here. Security. But you know the only way we get security in my family? Go to the Army. It's the only way. That's why I joined the Army at 18. It's the only way. You got a question?
How does security play into law of attraction?
It's the best question you asked so far. I'm not hesitating. I don't know the answer. I'm hesitating because I don't want to crush your bubble so much.
Crush it.
Okay. Does who said that existed? Who also said this was a goal? Listen to the question. Where does security, you're trying to, security means what? Let's define this real quick. What is security?
Safety.
Safety. What does safety mean? See, you're not thinking, words have power. Not because that's something, a cliche, it's because they're a vibration. All words are a vibration. My vocal cords are vibrating and they're twisting words in a certain frequency to match the language that is primary for me. That's all words are. That's all language is. What is safety? What is safety?
Away from any danger.
Okay. Oh, everything you said is right. And everything you just said is right. And it rang in my ears. Away from any danger. Can you have abundance when your vibration is, get me away from any danger?
Nope.
What are you vibrating at?
Paranoia.
Paranoia, caution, danger.
Yep.
You get it? So what you just tried to do was, how can I put caution, paranoia, and danger in law of attraction? And the way you were using law of attraction was abundance is the way you were using it. Look at what you're saying. So that's what I hesitated because I didn't want to just go, oh, good question, but you're a loser, right? I just didn't want to do you like that. But security, the universe doesn't care about security. Think about that. If you're religious, you've never, ever came to God and God was like, I have no idea what to do this time. No, you don't understand. I really wanted to help you, but I didn't even see what happened because I had some bills here in heaven. Come on. I'm really unstable in my own life right now. So no. God, Allah, you know what I'm saying? Dios. Like nobody's worried about security but you. And is there a universal law for security?
No.
Anywhere in nature, pay attention. Do leaves stress about security, or do they know in their very existence because they live, they're already secure? Security is a human construct. And what you're attempting to do is put a human construct into what is objective. And it's limited because if you need security, what does that mean? That means you recognize what you do not have, what you are not. And in life, you get what you are. So if you recognize you don't have, that's what you're going to get. You do not have.
So why they made police?
They made police first off, police, as you say,
Yeah.
because you're from the hood, police. Police officers are about 300 years old that
They was
just...
to protect the rich man's money.
That was to protect the rich man's money is actually quite fair.
So they were securing with the police.
That is
Mix
actually
that up. I'm gonna put some meat on.
that is actually
bread.
quite fair. He's up now.
Yeah.
That's
They
that.
was originally put here
Protect.
to
It's not even
protect
on.
you from getting robbed or
The
man from stealing from man.
let's back up real quick. Let me give you the objective data, and then I'm going to answer your question. Police are about 300 years old. It didn't start as police. I'm trying to give you a very fair rundown. And then about 1990, they start regulating their behavior. And that's facts. That's facts. It wasn't until Rodney King. There was no reason for police to regulate their behavior until Rodney King. That's when, I'm not saying small police departments, large police departments did not, but it was no regulation of behavior, no accountability in that manner until Rodney King. That is a widely known fact between any race, just being very fair. He's saying protect the rich man's money. depending on where you were in the world, if you were in the American South, that was also the governed slaves, which was the rich man's money. Okay? Did you like that answer over there?
Yes.
All right, good. The second thing I had to do, no, but ask yourself, how I released the word parents from this board with the eraser without effort. Have you done that? How much, not me, how much of your current financial problems are rooted in your parents' teachings? I'm going to venture and tell you every last bit of it, unless you've released it, but I'm not you. Yeah, please.
Yeah, I think I kind of released it because
Kind of release is not a release, but keep
I
going.
think I've released it because I pay attention a lot to
Good.
like, how my mom handled her stuff and how my dad handled his stuff. I mean, I see he is more manageable with his money, and my mom is more like you can't hold it. So I try and manage, but not be too afraid to let go at the same time.
Nothing wrong with that. You got a couple of things that's in your dialogue you need to fix. You keep justifying average. They're in your words. Kinda is a comparison. Two is literally TOO is a comparative verb. Okay, it's a to be verb, right? Comparative, literally. Two, which is in comparison, like almost everything you said was in compared to this.
Okay.
You want to go all the way.
Right.
Because if you don't go all the way abundance, you're automatically on prosperity. On poverty.
So I'm not yet done with the parents.
Well, I don't want to say you're not yet done with the parents. You could be. You could be suffering something on this list or your own list. But right now, you need to stand right where you want to be at, and die for that standing. Fair? Y'all get what I'm saying? All right. Me, I'm not telling you this is your list. I am most certainly tell you this was mine. Neighborhood. You have to understand this. My parents grew me up, and then what happened? I'm homeless. Now, my neighborhood, its conditions, I got you. My neighborhood is all I know. And all I know, I'm not saying, oh, the folk in my neighborhood told me stay struggling. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that was the whole thing about it. That was the whole thing. Right? I'm saying that the fact that we had the hood store is comparison. It's not a real store. It's kind of like theirs, but it's at a lower level. That's real talk. And you should be comfortable with the lower level things. That's what hood store means. Okay, question from you, and then a question from you.
It's more of a statement because when it comes to neighborhood, we see things in the lower level neighborhoods that you don't see in the higher level neighborhoods. So that also frames our perception on money as well.
Absolutely. Let's do it again. Y'all know the store in the hood. Is it 100 employees?
No.
It is how many?
Maybe three.
Maybe
They're
three.
not in there at the same time.
Can 150 of the neighborhood go in the store like they can in Walmart? Walmart could take 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, one time. Parking lot be full. If that happens in the hood store, what would happen?
Police get called.
Police get called.
They ask for a limit.
Two of y'all at a time. No backpacks. Does Walmart say no backpacks? Can you see the difference? No, you walk in Walmart, they wouldn't do that, right? Can you see the difference? The difference is in the language of the environment that you are saying what is normal. And the moment you make something normal, or the moment you accept something, is the moment that thing starts talking to you. And I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. My hood store in the neighborhood taught me if you ever spend money and that money takes care of you, it better be with a low standard than them. Why? Because there's a them and there is a you.
So let me get this right.
Okay?
They got. Oh, it's with anything. Dog. It can be with T-shirts. They had our meals.
Yep.
They had our meals too. You got the regular meal at the regular price, then you got the value meal.
That's right. That's right. So now you're not even learning from the neighborhood. Now you would be learning from culture or America at that point if you're in America, because they got the value. They're saying if you want to let your money stretch, get something of lesser value, because that is what people like you with your money can afford. Let us pay for the other stuff. That affects how you think of money. It does, because the next time, so when you buy that and now you can feed the family, when you buy something that's name branded, it lasts what? It's not even 2 meals. It's 1 meal. You eat now, you eat later. It's a wrap, and you spend half your money. But then when you go buy the value stuff and you fill up the refrigerator, and you fill up the cabinets and all that stuff, now what you say is you go, wow, this makes sense. And what you just did is you just said, being broke makes sense. Yes, that is an appropriate response. Yes.
I'm not okay with that.
No, you shouldn't be okay with it. I had to release that. This is why I only buy what? Top of the line stuff. For that, yes, that is the appropriate response. I only buy what is top of the line. Go ahead. You should.
No. Fuck that. I'm getting that value shit.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. As long
I ain't no motherfucking community. Nobody gonna tell me
nothing wrong with that.
nothing other different, cause the shit is the same thing. It's got a different name. They go buy a motherfucking Lexus and it's a Toyota Camry.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm talking about the rich people.
I
You
completely.
talking about the rich people going to get that Toyota Camry with a damn 90-degree angle symbol on the front.
I completely understand what you're saying. Cuss words and all. I got you. Check this out. Let's work backwards. The Camry and the Lexus,
Yeah.
same car. Just boom, put it on there. Of course, they'll do a little extra stuff on it. You know, this is why when you get into your Camry, it's like, man, what was this spot for? It's blank, because it ain't blank on the Lexus. You just got something there. It's just wasn't for you. You the bag of cereal. You the big bag of cereal person. You're not the Lexus cereal, okay? So you're right. It is what he's saying. In your case, you're not really conditioning yourself from poverty condition yourself to poverty in this statement. I don't know any other statements, because you're not emotional about, let's break it down. Give me that motherfucker, right, what he was saying, that's his thoughts. And I'm dead serious about that. I'm getting the same thing because I ain't sleep.
Yeah.
All right, so what he's saying is my creation is something that I deserve and choose. Okay, I don't care. I deserve and choose. You get it? Nothing wrong with that, because it's not blocking him from prosperity. Everybody understand what I'm saying so far? And mine was the same thing other end of the spectrum. I ain't buying none of that garbage. Thought. I'm pretty emotional about it. Boom. Because I ain't going back to where I used to be.
It's the same thing.
It's the same. We're saying the same thing, two different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, I can see.
You say, I'm going to buy what tastes good because I feel like it. I'm saying I ain't buying what tastes good because I know it's loaded with sugar and stopping my pineal gland from working well. You understand what I'm saying? You get it?
Yeah.
You completely understand. We're saying the same thing. If sugar don't bother him, by all means, go for it. I understand that it completely slowed me down with how they did the food. You get it? Yeah. Cool. Thoughts plus emotions is creation. Anything you think about and strongly think about, that thing becomes real. Yes.
How do you release those thoughts? It's number one, that's my struggle.
No problem. But I want to wait to answer your question. I want to answer it. No. I'm going to answer it now. I mean, it deserves me answering now, but it is everybody up to this point is going to be saying that. Well, how do I release it? How do I release it? You need to not have. Let's talk about your parents real quick, okay? Let's talk about your parents.
You necessarily just talking about the struggle.
Every single thing about this was I wrote the struggle on the board.
So,
And my struggle, though.
no, because this is wonderful. This is beautiful.
That's why.
What I'm saying, this is beautiful. Now,
Go ahead. Speak freely.
me and Tony, I don't know too much about it. So, but I'm talking about if you started the struggle and you figured out that you ain't gonna do this no more,
That's right.
you're a whole nother.
A whole nother
Now,
type.
if you never been in struggle and starting to realize struggle,
Okay.
your ass in trouble.
That's right. That totally explains that. Absolutely. That is 100%. This is why most wealthy people came from nothing. That's exactly why. You can't take nothing from me. I have absolutely started from way past nothing.
I don't have nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose. So I have a whole different drive about me. Since you grew up in some sort of privilege, you scared to take risks. I ain't got nothing to lose. So while you taking 2 little baby steps, I then jumped 20 steps in one. Got nothing to lose. Then when I get punched in the face by defeat, it's regular for me. It don't even give me a bruise at this point. I don't even get a busted lip. I got a tough chin, is what they say in boxing.
Like that shit up.
It's off. Ain't nothing there. It's gone. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not bothered. This is very important. The reason why you would have to ask, now I'm not saying you ask this question. You could ask about any of these, but I only talked about the parents. How do I let that go? You need to understand that you get to completely release their teachings and still love them. That has nothing to your respect, love, admiration for your parents and keeping them on the pedestal of how smart they are and how much of a hero your dad is and all that stuff. All that's true. You just know that their thoughts served them in their centuries. And their thoughts got them where they want to be, but you don't want to be there. And they raise you to want more than them, and you can't have more than them with their thoughts. All right, we got 2 questions. You and then you. And you're going to have to stand.
The parents. Now, you had both of them at the time. How about you seen one do some stuff
Right?
that you told yourself, but you end up doing it anyway?
Keep going.
If you seen a parent
Right?
that did something
See the parent that did something.
and you didn't like what they did,
Okay, that's a good one.
so you told yourself, whatever, hey, I ain't doing it,
I ain't doing it.
but you end up doing it anyway.
End up doing it anyway. And
End up doing it anyway.
I'm glad you brought that up.
The question is that hereditary? And then your other,
Some of it could be hereditary. As far as, let's break it down. That's actually a good question. Most of your diseases are not hereditary. They're more dietary than anything. And then since your mom's stressed and she taught you how to stress, you think this cholesterol or this heartache or this heart attack is hereditary. No. Stress-related environment. You grew up in the same environment with the same diet.
yeah.
You get it? Period. Now, he said something really great. If you say, I don't like what my parents did, and they did that, and I ain't gonna ever do that, and I did that. I'm never gonna do drugs because my parents did drugs and I refuse to be like them. That is gonna take you very high so far. Then if you got ambitious goals like me, I wanna go super high, do you understand? I wanna go way up. Me going against my parents. Could you hear that? What they did, I'm never going to do. That's against. That energy is only so strong. You can only go against the flow for so long and get so high. You can only use negative energy to get you so high.
Okay.
It can, yeah, you get it. It'll get me to a master's degree, but it won't get me freedom. Yeah, no. His question was just simple. His question was, well, "What about your parents?" And he took the same question you asked on the different end of the spectrum. How do I honorably release my parents' thoughts? How do I go from I don't like what they doing, and that's trash, and I ain't gonna do that. And
I do know. My dad drank a shitload of beer, and Like to this day, I cannot stand. I can't. Just cause he used to wake me up in the middle of the night, middle of the morning, and just talk to me. The majority of it made sense, whatever. You know, why you only punched me in my chest or whatnot. But the fact that I seen what it did and everything else, it's like to this day, I'm not messing with it.
Not messing with beer. But he still came from a place, but he still substance abused, right? And that was hereditary. That's what he's asking.
Didn't do what he did.
Just didn't do what he did, but
It's
same
not
thing. So is that hereditary? It's a yes and a no. It is a,
Don't tell him that, because he'll tell you it's in your blood type.
well, it would be in your blood
That's
because
exactly what my dad said. Use my
there is a fancy word that I'll say. I told that to y'all the other day. I wrote it down about passing down trauma to one generation. Epigenetics. Okay, so since you remember the word, I'll go ahead and bring it up. You can look epigenetics. Okay. Yes, that will be hereditary because one traumatized substance abuser had a baby and you were born a traumatized substance abuser, not a traumatized substance abuser's child. His DNA is in you, epigenetics. It is his ability for trauma, his addiction for certain hormones you would have had or more inclination to do, use, or have than you. That's epigenetics. So yes, but adding to that, that's still same diet, same environment, because you could have had that dad and then been adopted or lived with your uncle from Bel Air, Uncle Phil, okay, you know, shooting some b-ball outside of school, you know, and a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in the neighborhood, you know. It said you moving with your, okay, you understand, you could have did that and then had a whole different life. Do you understand? Will I say that will he still have those genes? Yes. Will those genes have ever been activated by the environment? No. If I remove you from an addicted environment, I also remove that activation that those genes could have had.
Man said that because he did whatever he could. And I mean, he did whatever he
That makes
could
so much sense.
to make sure we did not know what the projects was.
Good.
Until we had to move there.
Wow.
To the same projects he saved us from. Because that's where he grew up at.
Good.
Then we had to move right to the ones he grew up in.
Look at that. You?
I grew up in the projects, but my mom it was a different type of environment. Living with my grandfather in the projects, it was much stable.
Much stable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Projects with my
Yeah. The environment can trigger some stuff that you would have been passed down through epigenetics. Release what your parents have taught you. It's okay. It doesn't disrespect them and it doesn't demean them. It's a big problem, especially if you have both parents in the house, you're religious, your religion has told you to respect your parents. You're not doing anything against your religion. You're not disrespecting them whatsoever. You're just releasing the thoughts that put them in their condition so you can go create your own condition. Number 2, my neighborhood. My neighborhood was surrounded by nothing but lower expectations. I already explained it when I was talking about the hood store stuff, but I need you to get that. My neighborhood taught me this is how we do money. This is how much money we get. And if you got money, you're 2 people, 3 people. There's only 3 people in my neighborhood. I'm not telling y'all where y'all come from. I'm just telling you where I come from. There's only 3 people in my neighborhood. 4. I just thought of a 4th. Only 4 people in my neighborhood that make money. The nurse. Don't fool me now. The nurse or right? The nurse. After that, the white guy coming to sell us insurance. Don't fool me. That's my neighborhood. The only time I saw white people is when they was selling insurance or the cop, which leads me to the third person. If you had money and you was a cop, you was a dirty cop. And the hero of my neighborhood was a drug dealer.
What's the drug dealer?
That's who had the money.
That's who had all of it.
You understand what I'm saying? Now, imagine coming up with knowing that. Look at my thought of look at my two thoughts of white people for a second. You're a crooked cop, or you're my savior.
Insurance.
You're a crooked cop or my savior, giving me access to wealth so I can bury my grandmother. That's deep. That is deep. I had to release that. I didn't do all these at the same time. I'm just telling you what happened for me. Culture. Now, by culture, I mean this for me. My blackness. Yes.
Don't we pay the police by paying taxes?
Depends, but yes. Depends. Completely depends, but yes. You pay, if it's a sheriff department, then, blackness. Remember I wrote that there. If it's a sheriff department, that is a publicly, you vote for the sheriff.
Right.
You vote for the sheriff through public election. If it is the city, sheriff is county. If it's city, then that's different. You're right. Taxes do pay that, but it may not be your taxes because in Texas, we don't have a state tax. We don't have a state tax, and we don't pay the city taxes. That would come through. That's why Texas have surcharges everywhere. Everywhere. You buy a Beyonce ticket, there's a charge for that. It's the truth. We got surcharges on everything because we don't have a state tax. You get what I'm saying? So local businesses would more, if someone's going to be accredited, for paying for police salaries, it would be more local businesses and things like that. But you do have a point, and yes, all government money, so that would be government employees, would be tax funded, but that could come from federal level and the city budget. Okay. Blackness for me, but you got to remember, culture for you doesn't have to, it's not color related. For me it was, because I come from the hood. I come from the place when you say urban and you're trying to be nice. Do you understand what I'm saying? You say urban and you're trying to be nice. You get me? Now, culture for you is church. I know you personally. You don't have a culture outside of church culture. Do you have a culture outside of church culture? Culture for her is church. Culture for him could have been basketball. Boys and Girls Club. So community. Community. But the Boys and Girls Club would have taught him wealth or poverty. It depending on how he would have received it.
Taught me how to ball.
Taught him how to ball. Taught him how to ball, right? But when you thinking about $5 Boys and Girls Club card for a year, somebody at Country Club says $25,000. Wait a minute now. For a whole year, $25,000, but you're not thinking about that $25,000 gives you access to presidents of the country's presidents. Now, that $25,000 is real small. You understand? Now, wouldn't it be easy for you to go play for Ohio State if President such and such of the country said, Reggie, I'll make that call for you? It's easy to trade the $25,000. You get it? I don't know what culture for you could have been, but you get culture could be different. For me, my culture was my blackness. And after I released my parents, and after I released my neighborhood, hood rich, blackness, hood things, get money, get money and show people you got it. Is this making sense to you? Because when I got the money, guess what I had to do? I had to act like I had the money because my blackness said that. You understand? There was a time you couldn't, this is pinky rings, rims. Gold teeth. He got gold teeth with diamonds right now. Is that making some sense to you? You get it? That's what I mean by culture.
To the grave.
I'm not telling you this. We have our own Marshawn Lynch.
That's my boy, man.
Marshawn Lynch, okay?
That's my boy.
Do you understand? I'm not telling you this is a standard list. This is my list. Well, now that I got rid of 3, church. Now, I wasn't raised in a church, so I didn't have it. This was easy for me to get rid of. Easy. I wasn't raised there. But guess what happened? I mean, the moment 14, I got drugged to church. I did.
You did what?
You adopted, now you going to church.
Oh, you got drugged.
I got drugged to church. Okay? You adopted now. It's July 20th, 1997. Now that you adopted in this house, we serve the Lord.
So you is.
So you going.
Yeah.
Okay. And out of what we not gonna do this, I went to church. Do you understand? Nothing wrong with the church. But as soon as I got there, I still remember one of the first sermons I heard was you are going to hell. This church.
It's not my turn.
This church is probably a church that should never have been open, but not local churches are not like this. The big church not like this. But I'm talking about mine. This is a pure fire and brimstone. Gays are going to hell. Muslims are going to hell.
Oh, everybody.
Everybody's going to hell. Everybody but this church. And I don't mean like the church, big church. No. This one location in the world. Anybody outside is going to hell. Well, that's the church. First thing. So then they asked me, they asking me questions about me. Now, since kindergarten, I had 2 dreams. I wanted to be a fireman and I wanted to be filthy rich. I'm just telling you what it was. So guess what I did when they said, tell us about you? I'm trying to be rich. Now, I'm already gangster because I raised myself. And the first thing to pop out of my mouth, I want to be rich. So you can imagine.
Demon baby.
Okay, it's easier for a rich man, right? I mean, for a camel. You can imagine what happened to me. So now I'm thinking if I gain the world, I'm going to lose my soul and all that stuff. You get what I'm saying? Am I telling y'all this is y'all struggle? No. I'm just telling you that now I can tell you your struggle because I know you. Her struggle would be, well, look, only prosperous person in our church is the pastor. That's how it works. I'm not going to be prosperous. I'm always going to assist the prosperous one. And then you convince yourself you're a servant. You're not a servant. You're conditioned.
Can you say the real word?
Slave.
Condition is too nice.
Condition is too nice.
Yeah, don't say it on TV.
You sound like you got some, okay. I'm going to say it's like you got some Marshawn Lynchness fit to come out.
Yeah, man, condition is too nice.
So I had to, let's just say bamboozle. That'll let them feel a little better.
Hoodwink.
Okay. Church, I had to let that go. I had to let that go. Church, I had to let that go. America. Do you understand? Now, after I release all these, I'm thinking I'm good. Now I'm grown. I'm grown for sure. I'm thinking I'm good. And I fool around and go to the army. And the army, boom. And then they tell me this is where black people belong in money. America tells me, now you could be a manager, but one of these. You can go to school, but you're going to get one of these. In fact, you go one of these schools. Don't try to apply to Yale. Come on. Come on. LSU, TSU, Atlanta. You go to one of those schools. You get it? Oh, you got a small business. You're gonna be one of those small businesses. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's I had to get rid of that. I had to get rid of that in money. Do you understand? Then this one snuck up on me. That responsibility, that totally snuck up on me. I wasn't ready for it. I released this. I didn't even, the spelling snuck up on me too. I released this, all 5 of these. Now I'm making money. And guess what happened? Me came to me. The old folk will do this here. One of us came to me, a group of us came to me and said, you got a responsibility now to put us on. See, I wasn't ready for that.
Wow.
I wasn't ready.
Out the army?
No, not the army. This was,
After the army?
this is about 4 years ago.
Gotta be after the army.
It's way after the army. I got Army 2004, 2015 when I actually started being known for stuff. This is before net worth hit, a year or two before net worth hit $1 million. Before I got known for, you buying stuff, you got to teach us. No problem. No problem. I teach, but this is what it was. You got to teach us, but I ain't got no ambition and I don't know nothing.
And I don't want to pay you.
All right, no problem. I got you. And I don't want to pay
And
you.
I don't want to give you nothing.
No problem. You don't want to pay me. You have no ambition. And whatever the third thing that I said, right? All that's good, right? No problem. Got you. Do this here. Nah, I ain't doing that either. See, now it's a problem. Now what you want me to do is you want me to teach you how to market on Facebook, but your page set to private. You want to teach me how to become a personal brand. Yourself said your Instagram set to private though. So that's exactly what we do. So now you're not even trying to help yourself, but I got a responsibility to waste my time. Waste my time from dealing with my customers who actually pay. Because if I don't spend with you, I'm an Uncle Tom. Or what you doing for the neighborhood, Antonio? What are you doing for your people? That bothered me so much. It made me start hiding my wealth. I still do it to this day. It made me stop stuff. And it made me vibrate at the frequency. And if I get it, I'm gonna have to deal with them. And I'm not really ready for that right now. So I'm gonna just not go get it.
A nurse in San Antonio.
Told you that same thing.
He taught me the same little, he said, Reggie, you know why I wear the same shirt? You know, like the same shirt or same shirt every day? It's because I'm gonna let the people know how much money I got.
Yeah. Yeah.
You say you don't see me walk around in flash. Now you see my car though. You get to see, you know what I'm saying? But you don't see me flashing and nothing like that. He said I don't want that attention to be drawn to me.
All makes sense.
It made sense to me, especially at the time I was. Yeah, because I thought I was young Jesus.
Oh well, yeah. You was trying to be the
50
snow.
necklaces on
You was trying to be the snowman.
and 15 rings.
Yes.
I ain't lying.
15 rings. He got 2-3 rings on one finger. Okay. He walking around like Tom Brady and Tim Duncan.
Took pictures like this.
I want y'all to pay attention to this. I got a famous director. Well, to me she's famous. Movie director friend. BET Awards, MTV Awards, worked with Spike Lee, all sorts of stuff. And right now I coached her 3 years ago. And I was trying to figure out what's your problem. Her problem is she is afraid to do her hit movie that she knows is going to work because she keeps getting pressured by all the people saying, what you going to do when you get all that money? And that literally has her not releasing the movie she knows that's going to. It only takes one movie, y'all. It only takes one movie. You know, the director who directed Ace Ventura, that was the director's breakout and Jim Carrey's breakout. It only takes one. It does. It's the truth. It is the truth. That bothers you. So that was me. Now, this is where we end. Oh, don't worry about these scriptures. That's for him. Right?
It's your formula.
If you like that kind of stuff, you're more than welcome to read it because it says your formula. This is all about you. Where do you fit in on that? Did you pay attention online and here? Or did your auto suggestion say, let me something else? Okay, whatever that may be. I'm not telling you did, I'm not telling you did not. It doesn't matter. But I promise you, in this conversation, you collapsed this infinite possibilities into a particle. Period. Now, that may be a particle that's going to get to $40,000 in 30 minutes. Just may. Or you're going to repeat the day. I don't know. That's not up to me. But I can assure you any problem that I have, just talking to y'all, I came up with 8, 9 ideas of what to do. I did. Didn't take me long at all. All I had to do was just get into the flow of the universe. I just had to stand up and get out that thinking and move. It probably wasn't even this conversation. It was probably just moving, negative right here. Let me move over here. It probably was. I don't know. But this is part of Law of Attraction Money. But this is more specifically, this is their story and yours. Please, I had 6 layers of someone else's thoughts and constructs telling me about money. And it controlled me for 30 years, 30 plus years. What about you? What about you? Because Marshawn Lynch is as hood as him with my money. Well, a little bit more. But you get the point? Mm-hmm. And it came out last year, a couple years ago, he didn't even spend none of his NFL checks. Not a dollar. Not a dollar. Nipsey Hussle, just as hood. Still, freaking changed the world, right? What about you? Can you get $20,000? Did you process getting to $20,000 in something seconds, 30 minutes? I got ideas. Do you, or did you do the same thing you always do? I don't know. I ain't just talking. Their story is in your story. Make sure that when that happens, you choose who their story is. Because I totally love Jay-Z's story to be in mine. Warren Buffett's, he could tell me, talk. I'm listening. What you read today, I'm reading too. I'm the jealous girlfriend. I'm reading it too. He pick up, if an article hit his phone, who text us? You know, I'm like we dating. What you want me? I'm serious. I don't mind. Some people's story can be in my story. Some people cannot. Antonio T. Smith Jr., you can plan better. You can dominate. Hey everybody, you may not know it, but you probably not subscribed to my videos. I appreciate you for even making me a community. Team ATS, we are here. There are 3 things that I am accomplishing and changing the world, or at least aiding to change the world. Here's thing number 1. Every single time that you watch one of these videos and every single time you subscribe, you help boost this community and help me give out a whole lot more information for free. Another thing that you're doing, and this is probably most important, you help me pay for salaries, okay? Team ATS, the minimum wage for Team ATS, the people who work here, is $22 an hour. That's pretty cool, right? Every time that you subscribe, buy something from me, or now I'm going to ask you to go to my Patreon page and give a donation. That could be $1 a month, $3 a month, $5 a month, or if you like me, $25,000 a month. I appreciate you who's going to do that. 100% of every donation that comes through goes to salaries or video production, which is the second thing. You know, look, this is 4K content, right? All this stuff costs money. So instead of me taking money from people, what I'm doing is I am literally creating salaries and using this money for production and more salaries. I don't use the money for me. I am literally helping people, bringing people out of poverty. I specialize. I am so excited about group economics that I typically hire people with felonies or need a second chance, or someone, the daughter is 15 years old and they need insulin. I love those kind of people because they're hungry and they need an opportunity. So please go to Patreon. Okay, go over there right now. I'm not sure where my editing team is going to put it. It could be over here. Click one of these things. You know what I'm saying? Go over there and do a donation. Now, that's if you can. If you can't, don't worry about it. Just set me to see first, put on the notifications, click that alert bell if you're on YouTube, however you find me, and you'll be helping that way. But if you have $1 to spare, $5 to spare, $10 to spare, I promise you, you'll be aiding people in salaries. Let's stay together. Now, if you're on the same vibration with me, if you're trying to raise the higher consciousness of this world, if you believe, if you be faithful to the few, you'll become rulers over many. If you vibrate at that frequency, let's be faithful. Let's, give $1 or $2. Let's help somebody else so the universe can help us. I really appreciate you. Team ATS is in the building to stay. A third thing that I'm doing, because I promised you 3, is I've actually started my own Oprah Winfrey network, but ATS network. So expect to see a whole lot more content. Expect me to start paying content providers and content creators. Expect me to give people a platform where they can get paid for their videos. I really appreciate you. I'm so grateful for you. Let's make this community one of the most popular and one of the most paid communities so we can pay others. I give you my word. 100% of the money that's drawn from these videos goes to creating salaries or upgrading equipment. Antonio T. Smith Jr., you can plant better. You can dominate.